Hey everybody, today we're looking at the Yamaha PSS-51 from the late 80s. A couple of unusual things about this keyboard. First of all, it's mini keys, but it's very rare to see a 61 key mini key array. That's a strange combination. And the other great feature is the joystick control, which gives you access to a whole lot of morphing sounds. It's really fun to use. Default piano sounds pretty good. But let's be honest, we all want to see that Vector synthesizer, don't we? We can take a look at the resident sounds a bit later on. The way the joystick works is amazingly simple. You push it to the left, you select a voice, push it to the right, select a voice, push it up, push it down, select a voice for all four parameters, and then the joystick just oscillates between them. It's a pretty specific kind of sound. So considering that the resonant sounds in the PSS-51 are very basic, very old-fashioned, I think it's worth adding some delay as you oscillate the joystick. In fact, I'd be tempted to hook up a multi-effects system and see what you can come up with, because this basic ingredient is pretty cool. Okay, back to those default sounds. And then we'll look at some beats. Okay, short sounds like this can be extended a little bit using the reverb and sustain controls. Pretty basic stuff, but there's no sustain pedal socket, so you might need it. Okay, this is a good sound to demonstrate a really nice pitch bend function I've discovered. I know it's a bit off your screen, but what happens is you push the pitch bend wheel upwards and press the plus or minus button to extend its range. So you can take it from the very familiar 2 semitone pitch range right out to a full octave. Sounds utterly digital, but I really like it. Slightly more tasteful example there. Let's hear more of the unaltered sounds. There are 100 old-fashioned sounds and they're weirdly interesting. Still on the subject of the Pitchbend wheel, it can actually be switched to modulate various parameters. I've found only one that's really useful, and that is that you can set it to add a slight layer of chorus. It's a little bit hard to hear, but it definitely adds expression. Okay, we're into the percussion now. I'll show you a few of these sounds. But remember, my pitch bend is set to a full octave.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So let's try it with drums. A really good and usable effect. And we're back to the default piano. Percussion pads along the bottom here. Pretty useless, but fun. I have no idea what these are for though. Absolutely ridiculous. So with older keyboards like this, I think we're always looking for ways to modernize them, to reinterpret what they offered back in the 80s to something that's actually useful now. And one such thing that I've found is the morphing possibilities in the actual styles. So as you can see on the display, that's 0-0, the default drum rhythm. Beats, though, can also be made sensitive to pitch shift. Naturally, this greatly changes each individual percussion sound. It also changes the tempo, though, so in this next example, I'm going to adjust the tempo to compensate. Alright, so I feel with the pitch shifter right up, the drum sounds are a little bit fresher and tighter, and then of course, like I said, you compensate with that by pulling the tempo back to where you want it to be. Only problem is you've got to hold that pitch bend wheel on maximum. Yeah, some of these beats are pretty weird, and I had a lot of fun exploring them and using this pitch bend trick. On the back, there's the glaring omission, no sustain pedal input, and on the other hand, there are 3 MIDI sockets, in, out, and through, so that's actually quite advanced. Let's try it. Okay, so our signal's pretty messed up. I guess blasting 16 channels into it all at once is a little bit more than the PSS-51 can handle. But again, it's all about experimentation, and these sounds give you an idea of what it's capable of.
Final thoughts on the PSS-51, friends. Well, my first thought was that it looks identical to the PSS-790. I can't really see a difference, but there probably is something, so let me know if you have any more thoughts on that. Sonically, I think, like I said earlier in the video, very old-fashioned, but it's one of those instruments where if you apply your imagination and work outside the intended rules of the operating system, you can come up with some pretty good stuff. Let me know what you think. See you next time on Gear Facts.